do is I'm going to take the progressive flow. You guys know the progressive flow, and we're going to apply that to all chair exercises. So we're going to start with our warm up at this point, and I'm going to have you guys start with 1 spring on 2. And what that means is that you're going to look behind. You can even see like where the numbers are at, and just have one of those springs on the number 2. And if you don't have numbers on your chair, you want to count the cactuses. So that's what they're called cactuses. And it's basically starting from the bottom is 1, working its way like an elevator to 4. Does that make sense? So 1 is on the bottom, 2, 3, and then we're on level 4. So when I say 1 spring on 2, that means 1 spring on floor 2, basically cactus 2. All right, you guys are gonna stand right in front of your chairs, a little bit about hip distance apart there and not so right on top of the chair. We're gonna start with a couple roll downs here to just check in with the body. So from here, let's go ahead and take those arms, open them wide, bring them all the way up towards the ceiling, and then start to round your spine, connect your hands to the pedal, and start to press the pedal down to a point where that is your stopping point. You're adjusting your feet to walk them back a little bit so that you're getting a nice deep stretch in your hamstrings through the back of those legs. Let your head hang heavy. And then I want you to start to slowly initiate pulling your belly button up into your spine and starting to rebuild your spine all the way back up into a nice tall position here, releasing your hands away from the pedal, shoulder, roll it back. Beautiful. Again, we're gonna go ahead and sweep those arms up towards the ceiling, take a dive down, connecting your palms to the chair, press it down, releasing your head, let it flow. Beautiful. I'm gonna have you bend into that left knee. Think about raising your right arm up towards the ceiling for a nice little rotational twist here. Good. Go ahead and bring it back down. And then you can bend into your right knee, lifting your left arm up for a nice rotational twist. Reconnect your hands to the pedal. And then I want you to really start to warm your abdominals up. So I want you to gather that energy, really draw your belly up and in as you begin to bring the pedal up to its starting position, but don't let it go. And then I want you to press all the way back down once you hit that final phase. And then continue with a few more repetitions, really initiating this work from your abs, rounding out through the lower portion of your spine here. So it's like as you pick up your abdominal muscles, you're feeling this engagement, this bit of tightness as you're tucking your tailbone underneath you. We'll go for 2 more. And think about your weight distribution, your feet, where the placement is going. Relaxing through your shoulders. Good. 1 more time, and on this final one, you can begin to slowly rebuild your spine back up to a nice tall standing position. Shoulders shrug it back at the top. Head is the last thing to come up. Good. So from here, I'm going to have you guys just walk your way in front of the chair so that you're facing out to the windows here. You're going to have a seat on your chair. And when you're sitting here, I want you guys to scoot yourself all the way forward. You can use the bar for assistance, and I want you guys to lie down on your back, but notice that your feet are going to be up into tabletop and there's nothing supporting your head here, okay? So just be mindful of your peer here in front of you, that you don't kick them in the head. Taking your hands behind your head to support it. I want your eyesight down on your belly button here. And keeping your torso engaged and quiet, begin to extend the legs out to 45 and then bring them back in. So you're aiming at an angle there, nice and slow. We'll go for 3 more. Reach, slowly dragging your legs back into tabletop. Reach out for 2, energetically through the toes. Pull back to tabletop, and 1 more. Good, and back to tabletop and hold. Go ahead and take your hands right on top of your knees for me. Good. Lift yourself up a little higher as you look down at your belly button. Extend your right leg, hold on to your left knee. And for single leg stretch, we're going to switch for 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4. Keep breathing, shoulders down. 2 and 1. Back to tabletop. Lift yourself up a little higher here, just so that you're not falling into that limbo of your neck. You're straining, and take your arms down beside you next to your hips. And we're going into hundreds. You're going to inhale for 5 counts and exhale for 5 counts. Inhale for 5 counts and exhale for 5 counts. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. 8, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. 9, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last time. And grab hold of your knees. Relax it, and you guys can sit yourself up. Do we feel warm now? Yes. Feeling good. So again, we got through our warm up, ready to go. The abs are engaged. We can facilitate our next movement, part of our footwork, now using our postural muscles and our core. So 2 springs on 2, which means that you're going to add the additional spring to meet the other one on that same cactus. You're going to have a seat onto your chair facing the mirror. And then let's position our heels on the foot bars, okay? And then we want to find our placement. So this is key, the placement on the chair. So once your heels are there, I want you to make sure that you're sitting in the very center of your chair. So you're not super forward and you're not all the way back here. Yes, so I like that a lot better. Yep. And then you want to puff your chest up for me. You're going to take your hands and just press them against the chair to really open up through your chest here, okay? Now, your feet are flexed, hip distance apart, they're parallel. Take an exhale as you press the pedal down. Remember, the goal with chair is not, the pedal is not going to touch the floor, and that's okay. Very slowly, you're going to start to allow those springs, the coils, to come right back up into place. Exhale, we press down, nice and tall. And inhale to come back up. So as we're continuing here with each repetition, you want to remind yourself, again, to sit up nice and tall, with these heavy water buckets sitting on top of your shoulders, and you want to avoid leaning forward, okay? So that's going to be super normal to want to feel. Press into my hand here. There you go. Keep that chest lifted. Beautiful. And it's all about control here. So I love this. Good. And you lean back into my hand a little bit more and puff your chest up higher. Right there, you feel the abs starting to kick in. Okay, good. Beautiful. That looks really nice. And so we're going to go here for another 3 and 2. Good. One more time. And then bring it back up. We're going to just organize our toes back onto the foot bar now. Stay in parallel. And then let's challenge your arm position. So let's take a genie arm position. So stacking arms, one on top of the other, chest is lifted and pressing down. And we're focusing in here on how much height can we get those heels. That is the goal. That's the objective I want to see from you guys, so that you have this equal weight distribution pressing in through all of your toes. And then this is challenging and strengthening your ankles here as well. So this is a very quad dominated footwork series. When you're on the chair, you're going to feel a lot of it on top of your thigh. And that's the differences. Good. We're going to go ahead, lean up a little bit. Yeah. That looks great, ladies. How's the weight here? Tension feels okay? Donna says otherwise. So I feel like 2 on 2 is a comfortable weight. Absolutely. You can go 1 on 2 or 1 on 3. That would be fine too.
I think the struggle is like to have equally distributed in both legs, because I feel like I'm putting more push in my right and I'm trying to make them both the same.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Like, cause like I can do it easily if I'm just doing my right, but if I wanted
To actually think about both of them, yes.
yeah, that's where I'm struggling.
Come right back up here, ladies. Take a little breather. You're going to do your genie arms in whatever position that you didn't have it in the, so switch arms, basically. Connect your heels together for your Pilates feet. Good. Reorganize yourself here. Abs are drawn in. We're going to lean back slightly, so shoulders over hip, and then exhale, press it down. Beautiful. Keeping those heels hugging together. And I love that Donna said that, because right now I'm teaching you just a very generic progressive flow on the chair. Next time I teach a chair class, we'll do it with no dowel. So it's a split pedal. Does that make sense? So you guys are going to understand where your dominant sides are, where is weak, and what's overly tight, what's taking over. Good. And you guys have these mirrors, so take advantage. Like, do the inventory check. How's your neck? How is your shoulders? How are your abs here? Do you feel like you're swaying your body back and forth? Nice. And we'll take it here for another 3. And 2. Last one. Beautiful. And then return, bring it back up again. Good. Get your shoulders and arms a breather. You're going to take your heels out very wide on the foot bars. We're going into our wide V position, a slight external rotation from the hip socket here. And then I'm going to have you guys just go ahead and take your arms out, like if you were going to do hug a tree, but I want you to just hold your arm position here, okay? And then as you sit up tall, you're going to exhale, press into that pedal. And it's almost like every single time you press into the resistance of the springs, it's encouraging you to grow taller. Do you guys feel that sensation? Because otherwise you want to collapse into it. So we want to encourage our spines to elongate. Good. Dan, lean back a little bit there. Like, tuck your tailbone under. There you go. Yes. And then you should feel the abs just kick in right there. Yes. So that's one of the cues. That's what I'm monitoring when I'm looking at you guys, is when is the body getting so fatigued that it wants to kind of like create more of the arch. So we're losing our neutral pelvis here. Good. One more time. And then let's go ahead and bring it back up again. So I could add pulses here to every single variation to increase it, to make it like better for Celine. So she's like, oh, this is too light. But it's also, the lightness is about control, right? You have to control it so much more. Coming down to your toes, staying in that wide position. And then I'm going to challenge you guys here, because you guys are going to frame your ears by raising your arms up. Now, when I say challenge here, because what's going to naturally want to happen is you're going to want to either start to collapse or your shoulders are going to go up. So I want you to find a comfortable position where you can maybe see your hands, and then again, go into your repetition. So as you're pressing into the pedal here, your heels are lifted, and we exhale there. Good. With it heavier load, you also risk moving your body forward. So you might see that rocking occur happen. And it's hard to like actually micromanage our bodies to stay perfectly still. So that is another thing too, with having more weight, you may notice more swaying in your body because you're not able to press down as hard. So keep all of those things in mind as well. Good. So think opposition here. There's energy coming out from your fingertips. There's energy coming out through your toes. And your abs are drawing in towards your spine. So we're thinking deep ab stabilizers, transverse abdominis, teaming up with the deep back stabilizer, multifidus. Beautiful. One more time. And relax it. Beautiful. And then all of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, my arms are feeling heavy. Like you didn't do an arm workout here, but to hold this position, this posture feels like so much extra work. So now you guys hop off. You're gonna turn around and face the wall. And we're gonna go into our calf raises. So we're gonna position our left toes on the foot bar and then organize your left knee onto the edge of the chair here. Okay, yes, just like Deanna was doing here. And you're gonna walk your hands all the way up to the edge of the chair. And then we wanna think about like almost like flattening our back or puffing our chest up again. Beautiful, squaring out through the hips. And then you're gonna have your right heel connected down into the ground. Okay, this is gonna go right up against your knee. There you are. It's not moving. Your left leg is not moving. Donna, bring your left knee down more. More. Right about there, yeah. And now you're gonna work through your left ankle. You're gonna push into your toes to press the pedal down and the knee stabilizes. Okay, so you're holding that position like right about there, I would say, and then go ahead and flex the foot. Flex and point. Flex and point. You feel it now? Through your calf, this calf. Yep. Tucking your tailbone under and press it into my hand a little bit. There we go. And then I want you guys to also pay attention to the heel, to the foot. Is it parallel? Sway your heel out a little bit more. There you go. Because we want to pay attention to the standing leg as well. So earlier, Donna was actually like leaning up and she had herself on her tippy toes. Mm-hmm. Very normal reactions. You want to encourage the client to push their heel into the mat here, into the floor. Yes, to feel this activation as you open up through the back of your right knee. And we're doing anywhere from 10 to 20 repetitions. So let's just do 3 more here. This is about strengthening because I do have you guys on a heavier weight. If it was about mobility for someone who needed to work through stiff ankles, I would lighten the weight up. Beautiful. And then go ahead and release. And then we're switching. Good. Okay, so organizing your right knee on top of the chair, having again equal weight distribution with the pedal. And once you're ready, you're pressing into the pedal. Like sounds like rusty today. It's the rain or something. Move your knee down a little bit if you can. Yeah, there you go. That's better. It's not talking back to us now. It's interesting how the equipment has a way with words, like so funny. Wants to be talkative more than other days. Beautiful. So again, notice here too, like, are you pressing more with your big toe? Are you pressing more with your, off your pinky side? That could be an indication too. Am I supinating? Am I pronating? So going back to the anatomy and pulling that in. We'll go ahead and do 4 more here. Good. And exhale, press it for 3. Nice. Keep pushing into your left heel, opening up the backside of that leg. And 1. Good. Okay. Give it a little shake off here. Nice. And we're going to go into some abdominal work here. Okay. So from here, I'm going to have you guys go into your full pikes. So I'm going to keep you on this weight and then we will make adjustments if needed, okay? So you're going to press your left foot down into the pedal. You're going to take your hand position where you had it prior, the calf raises, and then have your right foot join you on the pedal. The fingertips are out and it's like, they're just like dangling here. Like it's so light. Celine, turn your hands outward. There you go. And then I want you to organize your shoulders over your wrists. You're going to shift your weight forward. Actually, you guys might be carefully step off. Yeah, you're too close to the bar there. So step off carefully. You guys can pull your chairs more towards you. And the reason is because like once you guys get up, it's going to feel like this is weight. So once you're there, go ahead and get into position. Nice and slow. And then making sure you aren't on your toes. A lot of times people will want to go to the arches of their feet. And that's not a very safe position for them. So that being said, I want you to transfer your weight into your hands and begin to lift your tailbone up towards the ceiling. So there's a sense of pulling up and in, like someone was to, again, think about putting on a pair of tight jeans. Beautiful. And then I'm gonna have you drop your head a little bit more. There. Do you see how different that feels?
Yeah.
And nice and slow. You're not gonna crash into the baseboard. So you want to, again, kind of float up and down. Beautiful. Relax the tension from your neck and shoulders. And again, we shouldn't be having a deathly grip. And just notice how we are just nice and slow. We'll do about 3 more here. Just getting the sense of what this feels like. Hold and then pop yourself right back up. Can we do that, Deanne? Yeah. And then right there. And then go back up again. Yes. And then one more time. Back up. Yeah, good. And then rest it. So that's what we're building. You're not allowing ourselves to have that break as long, unless we need it, obviously, if we feel our form coming out of alignment. But it is a great way to track and progress how strong you're getting, because then we can actually just reduce the spring tension to make it harder, or we can add on springs to give us assistance at this point, okay? So I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and step off for me. 1 foot at a time, letting that pedal rise up carefully. And you're gonna go ahead and remove one of your springs. And I like you guys to go to 1 on 3. So remove 1 spring and then adjust the other spring to 1 on 3. And then you're gonna have a seat on your chairs facing the wall. Okay, and you are going to go ahead and scoot forward a little bit, and you're going to take your arms and reach behind you to find the pedal, and having your fingertips either looking towards you or away from you, whatever feels comfortable in your body for that shoulder rotation. And then you're gonna find tabletop. So we're going into our torso press sit here. Okay. And what's nice here is if you need it, you got the bar, the wall to help give you that connection, okay, and the assistance. So with that being said, you're gonna go ahead and start to slowly use your breath and start to allow the pedal to lower down. Use your abs to come back up again. Yes. It's hard, it's easy to go down, it's hard to come up, so be mindful how far you guys are gonna go. Good, and use your abs to really allow for the pace here. Your eyesight is down.
I'm struggling to go down.
To go down?
Yeah.
So we might need to lighten it for you, maybe 1 on 2.
Okay.
How are you guys doing? It's hard. It is hard. Yeah. It's hard no matter what. Good. Let's go ahead and take it for 3. Really draw in those abs. Down. And 2. So beginner, intermediate, what do you think?
Intermediate.
Yeah. Probably not gonna give this to a brand new client here. And then go ahead and slowly bring it back up again. And you can drop your foot 1 down at a time. So I'm gonna teach you guys the oblique version. So before we move on, we're gonna go into the oblique version. And with that being said, once you're here, you're going to have your legs in tabletop, and then 1 arm is gonna go over the ear, and your eyesight is gonna be on the hand that's on the pedal. Does that make sense? Okay,
So what do I do with
that, this one's gonna go right over your ear.
Oh.
And then your eyesight, so just kind of soften it there. And your eyesight's gonna stay on your left hand. Okay, same idea. You can even float your fingertips here. Beautiful. Knees are together. Yep. And then really think about those internal, external obliques working together here as a combination. We're gonna go here for another 4.
Same side?
Same side. Okay. Keep breathing. Are the knees together? Are the toes energetically pointing? Or do you feel like you're swaying your hips here? Good. 2. And 1 more. Return and come back up. reorganize yourself, and then we'll set ourselves for the next. Legs are in tabletop. Again, what I'm looking for is that you're not actually like shifting your knees over to one side, but they are staying right in the middle there. And that might limit how far you guys can actually rotate or go down, and that's okay. All right, nice and easy. Eyesight is on your right hand. So keep the pressure, keep the pressure down into this hand, right there. So for you, I wouldn't even go down as far. Okay, yep, bring it back up, 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 and you probably could scoot forward more. I think that's also what it is. William's got the idea over here. She's like, I got this.
I feel like I cannot push down unless my toes are on the,
Oh, because you have too much springs. Yeah,
Oh.
yes, and then come back up.
I have the on two,
Two on,
one on two, I have.
yes, she has,
On three. Oh.
I got to teach.
okay, she had two springs on. So that's actually, she's like giving her a ton of assistance or she's just not gonna go anywhere, which is why she wanted to use the leverage. I just didn't even see that, I didn't catch that.
So wait, is it only one?
It should have been just one spring on three and then you move the other time, yeah. And you just hold on different.
Can I try it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you're gonna find a difference.
She's like, whoa, like, why? I still need the bar now.
Okay, now I see.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's probably a little bit more scary because you don't have as much that stability with it, but you got the idea of the exercise, yeah. Okay, all right, go ahead, guys, and sit yourself all the way up. And we are gonna go ahead and walk ourselves back over. So actually, before you do that, I want you to add on another spring.
2 on 3.
Two on 2 for you, 2 on 3. Let's do 2 on 3 for you guys. Because you've never done this either, Celine.
Yeah.
So again, you guys are gonna walk yourselves now back over here in front of your chair, in front of your pedal. And then you're gonna press down with your right foot on the pedal all the way. And then you're gonna go ahead and take your left foot, so you can find your hand placement on the chair, and your left foot's gonna come up on top of it, okay? Right in the very center. Oh, you can push it all the way up, all the way. There you go. So finding your placement, making sure that that left foot is in the middle, so walk your foot a little bit more. There you go. And then I want you guys to take your hands to the very corners of the chair here on your fingertips for me, okay? And then you're gonna use this for leverage, okay? So from here, you're on your tippy toes on your right side of your foot. You're gonna push into your left foot and start to straighten your left leg. Yes. And then very slowly, you're gonna start to come down, but you're never gonna have the pedal touch the ground here. So the work is coming from that left side. So I want you to think left glute here as you press firmly into your left foot. Your right leg is literally going for the ride. So when you feel comfortable, you guys can carefully start to come up just like Donna is over here. So she's bringing her hands up into her genie position and really focusing in on the work from that left side. I even move your left foot higher up there, Deanne. Yes, okay. Because we want nice tracking, so we don't want the knee to shear over the toes here. And about 10 repetitions. So if you did those 10 repetitions, go ahead and come back to him. And then this is like really easy. So like Celine is happy just being right here. Deanne's happy right there. And then when the client feels ready and they have good form and to maintain that, that's when we take it up into more of a tall position here, okay? So when you're ready, go ahead and carefully switch the feet. So if it feels really good on my fingers, is it okay for me to? You could, yeah. Again, you don't want to rely on your hand because the goal would be to work your way not to have your hands on there.
Right.
So that's why I say super light on your fingertips. So don't think about pressing so firmly into your hands. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Because the goal is we want to put that attention back into our hip doing the work here. So lots of hip stability. This is really bridging the gap here to build stronger hips. Good. Nice and easy. So we may need to actually have you lift your chest up higher there, Deanne. Up, up, up. And you can use the bar if you want for assistance too. Because that also will give you a sense of like, what does this feel like to actually come up a little higher? Looks good, Donna. Nice form. Nice work, Celine. Good. About 10 here. Shoulders are down, abs are in. So again, keeping mindful moments, checking with the body. Good. Very nice. We're building stamina now, right? So carefully, once you're done with those 10 repetitions, you're gonna go ahead and come on. So this would be considered more of your hip work. Okay, it's all focused on the hips. So even though I don't have you guys doing, random like your feet in the straps, like on the reformer or on the Cadillac, it's basically you want to think about what type of other hip strengthening exercises you can do. Okay, so we're going to go into spinal articulation, and I'm going to have you guys go ahead and I'm going to keep you right about. So I'm going to take you on 1 on 3. You're going to lie down on your back. So we're going to go into some help drills here. Okay. Yeah. I got this. Okay. Okay, so with that being said, go ahead and place your feet on the pedal. And you're gonna push it all the way down. So I want that pedal all the way down to the floor, and your arches of your feet are gonna be on the pedal. So kind of adjust your body so that it makes sense. Okay.
Wait, should I change my?
No, it's good. So yeah, just push it all the way down. Okay, got it? I'm gonna let go.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know pelvic curls from that, right? We're gonna do the same technique. So I'm gonna have you guys continue to press firmly into your pedal without moving it. And I want you to slowly rock your pelvis back, start to peel yourself up as you press firmly into your arms. Good, hold it right there. Take an inhale at the top, exhale, begin to lower down 1 vertebra at a time. Excellent. Deep breath. That's what we want to avoid. You guys now know. The pedal wants to naturally come on up. So as you're pelvic curling, think heel to glute connection. So it is activating the entire backside of your leg here. Even more so when you guys come down to release. You're coming back into your neutral pelvis, but you have this activation from the back of your legs turned on. Good. Think of your kneecaps reaching to the wall out in front of you as you open up through your hip flexors.
That knee to, or ankle, whatever you, heel to butt that you said really helped.
Good, good. Yeah, so heel to glute connection here. It's almost like you want to think of your heels being dragged towards your tailbone. Does that make sense? Beautiful job. Let's go ahead and take it for another 2. Nice. Feel the spine, get a nice stretch as we elongate. And gently press 1 vertebra down, bone by bone. And then on your next one, stay up for me. Not the pedal. The hips are gonna stay up, you're gonna hold, guys. Keep pressing your hands down into the floor as you raise your right leg up towards the ceiling. Hold. You're going to point as you lower your leg for 3, flex your foot to bring it back up. Point down for 2, straight leg here. And 1 more time. And gently put that foot down. Keep your hips elevated. Okay, use your arms for leverage, your triceps really for leverage here. Switching to the other side. Did we move our feet? Are they parallel still? And then the left leg is gonna go long. You're pointing to go down, you're flexing to lift up. At the same time, you wanna encourage your hips, your glutes to really feel this process. Good, one more. And gently go ahead and bring it down, and you're going to lower your spine, one bone at a time. Beautiful work. Good, and let that pedal come all the way back up again. Good. So from here, I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and you're gonna just turn over to your stomach and come to all fours. So you're facing that way. Just like that. Okay. More from here, you guys are gonna go ahead and walk your hands out a little further. And then you're gonna go ahead and come one leg, you're gonna come into a plank position. So Celine, I would probably come up a little further. Other way, other way.
On the football.
Not yet, no, we're just coming to a plank position, so walk, yeah, just make sure you have room to come into the plank. And from here, double checking our form, that you're pressing firmly into the floor, pushing that ground away, that we're not creating this valley in our shoulder blades. The abs are up and in. Full body work one right here, okay? Because we just did our spinal articulation. We're skipping the stretch for now. Good. Hips up a little higher there, Deanne. Abs are up and in. Beautiful. For 3, another deep breath. Relax your shoulders. For 2, and 1. Lower back down. Go wide with your heels. Take a nice, wide with your knees. Take a nice child's pose there as you stretch out. Good. You're doing a nice check-in here. And then I'm gonna have you guys, you're gonna come over to this side, and we're basically going to come back into a plank position because we're gonna work the arms, okay? So if you do need your mat because you wanna do this on your knees, just go ahead and, yeah, you can move it a little if you need to. And then move yours just slightly this way, so you guys have some room. So with that being said, you guys are gonna go ahead and take your left hand right on top of the chair, and your right hand is gonna go on the pedal, and you're gonna walk your feet back behind you. So you're coming into like a plank position again, and then your fingertips are facing me. And I may have you scoot over a little for your spine. Yep, and then Donna, walk your feet back even more. So Deanne, I like your position. That looks really nice. And then I'm gonna have you go ahead, guys, and start to bend into your left elbow. And the right arm is just gonna go for the right as the pedal presses down. So the right arm just stays straight the whole time. There you go. And then you're working through your left arm here. So you know how far down you can go. Good, abs are up and in. Press my hand. There you are. Try not to forget what that feels like. And maybe that's your stopping point right there. Good, drop the shoulder right. There you go. And pressing through. Nice. And we're just doing 5 on each side here, guys. Good. Dropping that shoulder, press up into my hand through here. Here. And press down. So it's like the hard part is what? Pushing, straightening your left arm, right? Yeah. So that would be the exhalation because you're exerting more energy. So the inhale is when you bend your left elbow. The exhale is when you are straightening the left elbow. Beautiful. That was 5, I believe. So I'm going to have you guys go ahead and walk yours down over to the other side. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and left hand is on, right hand is in the middle, walk your feet back, find your plank. And again, this is a new side, so it's gonna feel different. It could be your weaker or your more dominant side. So again, 5 repetitions here. We go inhale as we lower, and then we exhale to come back up. Keep drawing those abs in. Nice tight core as you stay fully engaged. About 3. And 2. And 1 more. Nice. Good. And then I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and add another spring to match. So I think with you, Donna, we did 2 springs on 2. You girls, we're gonna do 2 springs on 3. Okay? And we're gonna do our side pikes to go into our obliques. So our lateral flexion and rotation series here, okay? So you guys are gonna all face the window, and you're going to be just like where Selena's at, right in back of her pedal. You're gonna take your right foot and press it down onto the pedal, closest to you. You're gonna begin to walk your hands to the edge of the chair in front of you, and step your left foot in front of your right foot. Yes. And then Celine, go ahead and organize your hands like Deanne, so your fingers are looking outward. Donna, bring your hands up a little higher. That's it. And then I want shoulders over the wrist here. That's the tricky part. So once we're there, I'm gonna come up right behind you, and we are this way. So you see how your hips got squared more, and shift your weight this way. Press up into my hand more. There you go. And now once you're ready, keep your feet connected to the pedal and start to apply your weight into your hands. There you go. So our goal is about 6 repetitions here, 6 to 10 on this side, if you can. And you want to keep shoulder over the wrist. How are we doing? Keep your hips this way and the shoulders this way. There you go. Press up into my hand here. And it's all coming from those obliques. Doing the best that you can without compromising your form. So again, the goal was 6 to 10. So where do you feel like your body can do that today? Good. Press more and more through here. Up, up, up. Use your back extensors. Yes. There you go. Drop your chin. Yep. Using your back extensors right over here. You got it. Press, press, press. Yes. Good. Nice. And then carefully come off of that. And then grab your breath, grab some water, whatever you need, and we'll set ourselves up for round 2. I feel like this is the most I've had to reach my water.
I'm fasting, so like,
Oh my gosh.
it's like the month of Ramadan where we fast for the whole month, like till sunset.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How many, every day?
Every day till from sunrise till sunset.
So no
For
food
this
at all?
month, no food at all. After sunset, I can drink and eat.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, man. That's rough.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead now. Left foot goes down first. Okay, so scoot over a little bit. There you go. And press that down. And then carefully walk your hands up again, and then bring your right foot up in front. Good. Okay, so shoulders are again over the wrist here. Bring those shoulders down and away. Yeah, abs are up and in. And when you're ready, you're again applying pressure. So it's like you're sending your weight slightly forward, keeping your feet connected to the pedal. Because another thing that you're going to want to see, or maybe you can feel in your own body, is that the clients want to lift their feet away, or they want to hop in order to get all the way up. And then right here, I want every one of you to push the back of your knees to the back of the wall here. To really straighten out those legs, and you can identify how much more challenging this is when you do it.
Okay, I don't have that.
Push back right here. Wow. Shift your to the left. There you go. Right there, right there. That's your. Do you feel the difference?
Yeah.
Okay. So just take note of like what muscles did I just actually turn on now? Good. Beautiful job. So I love chair as all levels because you really can make this an all levels class depending on the client's needs and where they're at in their, with Pilates. Because you guys are on all like different screens and things like that too. So once you are done, go ahead and carefully step up off. Good. And then I'll have you guys go ahead and take it down to 1 spring on 2. And we are going to go ahead and Once you're there, go ahead and come in front of your chair and pull your chair forward towards the mats here. So from your make sure there's. Go all the way forward because you're gonna go behind it. That's good. So then go all the way behind it. And you're gonna come to your stomach and taking your hands to the pedal here. We're going into Swan. Okay, so you guys remember Swan on the reformer. So we're gonna just basically do it here on the chair. So hands are on the pedal. You're gonna push the pedal down, and I want you to organize your shoulders over your wrists. So that is our default position here. You're gonna have separation between your legs because we're in extension and we're not trying to compress the spine. But I want activation, so they're energetically reaching out behind you. Okay, Celine, scoot forward more. There you go. And from here, guys, eyesight is on the pedal. You're gonna inhale to go ahead and lift your chest up, allowing that pedal to rise. Beautiful. Exhale, send it back down. How can we minimize the movement of our legs? So Celine, lift those legs up higher. Yes. Feel that butt squeeze here to help create stability in your pelvis. Good. Inhale as we come up. Shoulders are going to drop down. Feel the activation through your upper back. And then eyesight is always on the pedal for me, okay? Just so that we can keep the neck in good alignment with the rest of the body. Beautiful. Everyone's looking really nice here. Let's take it for another 4. And 3. Again, feel your shoulder blades running down your back pockets. And 2. Nice. 1 more. And go ahead and release. Good. And then go ahead and bring your feet down to the floor. Stand the stone up. And let's do a couple of stretches to wind down here, okay? So you're gonna basically go into your figure 4, your piriformis stretch. So let's take the right leg up on top of the chair. And if you have the flexibility, you can walk your hands to the pedal and just go ahead and lie into it. If you have that flexibility, if that feels good for you. And then slowly keep breathing into it as you open up through that hip. And then let's go ahead and bring it back up. And then stand yourself up and let's do a hamstring stretch. So that same leg, I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and straighten it out all the way. And make sure your heel is supported on the chair, okay? Look down at your right foot. Are you straight? And then from your hands on your hips, hinge at your hips and lean into it without rounding your spine. Do you guys feel the stretch in your hamstring? If you want more of a stretch, you can flex your foot so you pull your toes towards you. They're in charge of it. So I use side pikes today as the lateral flexion and rotation exercise. I didn't use mermaid. Did you guys see that? I could have made it very restorative and use different types of exercises, but this was to create stamina. It was to really show you guys what the progressive flow can handle, but how we can insert all these different exercises on what type of class you want to teach. Go ahead and sit up straight. Keep your leg there, but flip your left foot. Your toes are going to face that wall. So you're going into your inner thigh stretch. Let's go ahead and take your right hand to your left hip. Left arm is up and lean into it. Beautiful. And then go ahead and carefully sit yourself up. Good. We'll repeat on the other side. So go ahead and take your left leg up. Going into that pigeon, piriformis stretch, figure 4. Take a dive if you feel the need. Just relaxing through your shoulders and just like maybe hearing your own heartbeat as you start to wind down here. And then go ahead, slowly return back up. We'll go ahead and extend out that left leg. So nice and straight. Make sure the heel is supported on the chair. Glance down at your right foot to make sure you're parallel. Hands to the hips, nice and tall. Think of lengthening out of your hip sockets as you lean into it. And see if you can get it more in line with your body. There's like, so like moving, yes, because we want the ankle to be in line with the knee. Do you feel the difference? Yeah. Good. And again, just like focus on if you need more of a stretch, obviously you can flex your foot, but really like lengthening out of your spine and leaning into it is going to encourage a deeper stretch as opposed to rounding over the leg. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And again, if we're thinking Pilates related education, we don't really want to round the spine at all, right? Not in this way. And then nice and tall for me, you guys are gonna flip your right toes to face out the windows here. You can take your left hand to your right hip, right arm up and over as you lean into it for that nice lateral stretch. And then you're taking that inner thigh as well. Beautiful. Bring it back up again. And then what we'll do is stand facing the mirror with 2 feet on the ground. And we're going to finish it with roll downs, just like we started when at the beginning of class, but you're going to be from the back here. So this is reverse washerwoman. Okay. So your hip distance apart there with the feet. You're going to go ahead and raise your arms up towards the ceiling and then start to dive over the chair, connecting your hands to the pedal. Having your hips directly over your ankles. So you can walk back a little bit there. You're not going to necessarily be able to push the pedal down all the way to the floor, but just get a nice breath here. Lengthening out again through your spine, and then starting to slowly scoop your belly up and in. Begin to rebuild your spine nice and tall. Shoulder roll it back. Let's try that one more time. Sweep those arms back up towards the ceiling. Taking a dive forward as you connect your hands to the pedal. Rest. Beautiful. And then super slow, let's begin to rebuild the spine. Picking it up one vertebra at a time. And exhale as you shoulder roll it back. Good job today, guys. How are we feeling?